Well, hey, let me ask you this: did you know that Tobey Maguire almost didn't appear in this movie?
I didn't know that before. I just heard about that just recently, and I honestly cannot imagine what life must be like with Tobey Maguire being able to do Spider-Man once.
I know, right? you know, especially since he was in Spider-Man: No Way Home just a few months ago. But in a surprise twist, he almost didn't appear in the sequel because he actually re-aggravated a back injury, which was a pre-existing condition of his during the filming of the movie Seabiscuit, and was almost recast due to the injury. Jake Gyllenhaal was actually in talks at one point to replace Tobey Maguire before Maguire had actually fully recovered and was able to return to the role just in time to start filming.
Yeah, that honestly, as much as I love Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor, I feel like I'd be pretty disappointed if he would be given the costume rather than Tobey Maguire. It's Jake to me is amazing, but in like a completely separate way. One way that I could imagine this is I'm a fan of Subway and Jimmy John's.
Oh,
I
me
do
too. Me too.
like I I do I do appreciate those sandwiches, but mainly for having like their own taste or style. And I feel like if Subway would end up having Jimmy John's ingredients over there, it would kind of mess up my interpretation of it in a way, you know?
Yes, exactly. And it's funny because, like, with The Dark Knight being the sequel to Batman Begins, Jake Gyllenhaal's sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal, actually was cast in the sequel to replace Katie Holmes. So it's interesting that he was almost also cast in a superhero movie to replace somebody from the original. But like I totally agree with what you're saying because it's one thing to recast a supporting character. It's a totally
Yeah.
different thing to recast the main character, the central title character in the movie. That's such a huge radical change that completely alters the tone of the movie that I feel like it wouldn't have been as well received, and I just feel like it wouldn't be the same movie. And obviously, I have a strong liking to this movie. So, but I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal's an amazing actor. I know he was rumored to be Batman in the Matt Reeves The Batman before Robert Pattinson got the role, but I feel like that would have suited him better than Spider Man personally.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be quite a risky move that I think would be like very difficult, if not impossible, to pull through. Especially because of the reception the first film got. People are just so used to a certain actor, a certain style of a movie that it would just make them just naturally uneasy when major changes like that were to happen for the next movie.